Welcome to the Hive Hustle, the captivating podcast about street culture, whether it's krump, hip hop, roller skating, business, entrepreneurship, being a father, anything that's invested in me, inspired me in life, and really helped me grow as a person.
It's official now. The Hive Hustle Podcast about to sit you down. Go and fix your crown. This ain't a grain of salt. Pick your brain and thoughts, even through a major loss. Still remain a boss.
Man, today I'm sitting next to somebody that I've known for like almost 20 years. And man, we got close probably 2012 when we first started like building one round together.
I'd say around there, yeah.
Yeah, and man, I'm just appreciative of you, bro, because I'm glad you was okay with popping on the podcast with me, and I just can't thank you enough. This is my bro Suave, y'all. If you don't know who he is already by sitting here, like, you need to catch up, because a lot of the reason where I'm at right now is because of this man right here. But thank you, man. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm actually happy to be here. Like I said, we've built a lot together, you know? So it's like I'm definitely here to support because, you know, we've done a lot. We've helped the community a lot, and I feel like it's good to give back to those who give. So
yeah. And man, like, when it really comes down to it, like, seeing where we're at now and seeing, like, we talk about this all the time on Facebook and just chilling and stuff.
Right.
But seeing where we started out at one round, like, I even think about like the trips to the Blackout. Yeah. Like when we filmed in the freaking car and we were like, yo, we're gonna make a concept video, and just thinking about where we're at now is like, it's really crazy to think. And, you know, you on your ventures, I'm on my ventures, and just us being able to support each other, because like I told you, the window outside, bro, that's your picture.
Yeah.
Like, my brand wouldn't have the look that it has if I didn't book you for photography in the very beginning.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you and Explosion were the first people to do my photo shoots in 2018. Like, bro, that's 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Oops. Sorry.
That's the great thing about having I guess, working with people and creating a team environment. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing that I can say I appreciate within our growth is we're able to see each other grow, and we're able to grow our different ways. Mm-hmm. And then we're able to help each other with the stuff we learn along the way. You know?
Like, whether that be video editing, whether that be, you know, photography, whether that be podcasting, whether that be anything, you know.
Right.
Me and you both have stepped into a lot of different industries, and I'm grateful because the conversations that we have help each other grow.
Yeah.
So, but as you know, this podcast is about street culture, people who inspire me, and it's mainly an interview because I want to get to know the artist behind the art. You know what I'm saying? Like, we see Kanye West, but we don't know what's going on at home. We don't know his personal life. Yeah. People see Suave on Instagram. People see the eye visuals. People see Unbiased Opinions podcast. Yeah. But they don't know what inspired those things. They don't know where you started. Mm-hmm. So the first question is always, man, like, where did it start? Like, where did street culture, hip hop, krump, whatever that was for you, whether it be dominoes at the table, whether it be spades, you know what I'm saying? Where did it first start? Like, how did you get introduced to it?
Dance culture in general? Well, dance culture started for me from my family. My cousins were into, my cousin who's actually on the podcast with me right now is his name is Twerk, but he started on a step team. Okay. And then within that step team, him and my other cousin, they started clown dancing. Okay. And
what year was this?
That was like, it had to be like early 90s.
Really? Well, clowning was around for a long time.
Yeah, so it's like 95 when they're actually into the clown dancing era. Okay. But like, I saw that, and I used to go to their stuff all the time, and I was like, I want to learn this. Like, this looks dope. You know, and I always had like a love for dancing because my brother was into it, because he used to do like Cisco, Usher stuff. Yeah. Every time he would see the video, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I want to, learn that. But then seeing the clown dancing, that's when I really like took off for me, because I was like, I'm in there. Yeah. I want to learn that. So
because you was tail, backpack, all that high school and everything.
Everything.
I remember. I wasn't around you, but I heard the stories.
Yeah.
I heard Suave was the dude with the tail and the backpack and the everything.
Yeah.
With the, I think you had the freaking you had braids back then, didn't you?
Braids with the beads.
You with the beads and everything. All of that.
Yeah.
So
That
I
was
know.
me. I hopped in there like crazy with it. Like, and the crazy thing about it was when I learned clown dancing, it was literally by myself. Like,
So you didn't have no inspiration?
No, I had like the people that I would watch, but I would
didn't
literally,
practice with anybody?
yeah, I would literally go out on my balcony every day and practice. Like I had this little radio. I would go on my balcony and practice every day.
Wow.
And then I just started learning that and learning and getting better. And then we went to places and I would see people doing it. And I'm like, this is my chance. this is my opportunity.
I could do it right now and be seen.
Yeah. And I'll get out there and do it. And people started seeing me. And then the crazy thing about that was like school. In school, like for people to say like I was the guy back then in dancing, I wasn't the guy at first. You know what I mean? Like I was invisible at school. And then all of a sudden, like I got good at dancing and everybody knew me. Then everybody's like, "Oh, he's the one who gets
you a
crazy
hood
at
legend.
dancing." Yeah, and I'm
Suave
just like-
is the hood legend name.
Yeah.
People know.
and my name started spreading around, and it was just crazy because I'm like, "Dang, like I just was trying
And
to
the
get
crazy
better."
part
at
about it
dancing.
is nowadays you got to have Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah.
Back then, it was word of mouth.
It was word of mouth.
like,
So it was like schools.
your name was like ringing bells in
Yeah.
Shap for freaking Valley. All the
Right.
high schools in Vegas. I remember because I was a Sigma Beta.
Yeah.
And I was like getting into clowning. Like I was like wobbling and like,
Yeah.
and everybody was like, where'd you learn that? I'm like, well, I learned it from Mecca, but I know these people over here, they be getting it in. I just don't know who they are yet.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. People knew about us through like schools and stuff because we would go to schools and like battle people
I know.
or at the football game. So it was like, it was crazy. Like in the beginning, I ain't gonna lie, I was like kind of like a bully with that junk, just because I was like hungry on like the dance.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I want to like try to get better and better, and I want to better myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I'm a battle anybody. So that's how me and Snoop kind of got connected through that. Was when we first met, it was gonna be a battle.
I feel you.
When I saw
think
him,
that's
was
how
like,
most
yeah.
friends start. You
Yeah.
argue with them and then you become best
Yeah.
friends.
But then me and Snoop started labbing together. So it went from me labbing by myself to me and Snoop labbing in the garage all the time. And then more and more people started coming. And that's pretty much how like the Goons,
Yeah.
Suave Garage,
Yeah.
and all that stuff was like birthed through like just labbing at home pretty much.
Well, just to let you know, man, like last night we were labbing here and a lot of new people came. And I was outside with my little homie, little Mafioso, Richard. And he was like, man, like the energy's just so crazy in here. And I was like, bro, what does it remind you of? He's like, you know what? He's like, this reminds me of like Suave's garage. And I was like, exactly. I was like, the moment I stepped in Suave's garage for the first time, my Krump changed. I've always told people, your garage is the equivalent to Mama I's house in Vegas. Like that, like if you ever move from that house, I'll tell you this all the time. If you ever move from that house, we have to like take the garage with us.
I know, right?
Like, but I told him that I was like, I've always made sure, because when I first stepped into your garage, I felt a safe space. I felt I could be who I am, and I felt like I could really get off to the best of my potential. And I've never felt that until, like, don't get me wrong, when I was at dance studios and stuff like that, but a garage is a whole different world, bro.
Yeah.
And so, like, I did everything I could to create the Hive in that aspect of like safe space. It's a great vibe. It's a great energy. And when you walk in, you feel it.
Yeah.
And that's
good. That's
that
good
you-
that you do that, because I kind of think that's what we built with my garage, because it wasn't intentional, but
It was
was
natural.
always like I wanted to have an energy of like love, and
You're
anybody
welcome.
can come here, and when you dance, you're gonna get
love.
So
Bro,
it's in
everybody
there.
everybody says it. When you dance at Suave's garage, the hype you get is a
Yeah.
whole different world than anywhere else.
Yeah.
You literally feel like you on top of the world in that garage. Like I don't know what it is. I remember when I
Yeah.
battled K-Trey in your garage. I had the moment of a lifetime in that round, and I remember you was like, And I was like, oh yeah, I'm getting off if Suave looks like that.
Yeah. Cause I would go crazy, especially in my garage. I'd go super crazy because it's like, and then everything's so like tight knit in there. So it's like the energy's all right there.
It's like right in the middle of everything.
We used to have so many people in there, but I always like, one thing I always tried to instill in my fams back then was show love. You know what I mean? Like if you show love to the people,
let people know.
Yeah, and it's good to bring the energy out of people. Like even if they're like, you see somebody's not getting there yet, like your hype could get them there. Like they don't know how much giving somebody energy helps them to put more energy out. And that's what I used to do to them, and that's what they used to do to other people, because I used to like kind of like help them with the hype.
Oh yeah,
you know,
that's one thing you've always had.
Yeah.
Now, you talked about clowning. When did it switch for you? Like when did it switch from clowning to Krump?
I want to say like Shake City.
Okay, so Shake City was the initial, like that was the, who gave you the DVD?
Yeah, I actually found it. I like discovered it. There's like a website about like Shake City. Yeah, and it was,
I remember
like,
that.
Super old, but like I was like, because I wanted to find like everything on clown dancing back then, so I used to look everything up. Then I came across like Shake City, and I was watching, and I was like, oh, this looks crazy. Like this looks even more crazy than clown dancing.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to get this and check it out. And then I heard about tie-dyes back then, but for some reason we always thought his name was Tie-Dye.
I did too.
Yeah,
like tie-dye, like the t-shirt.
Yeah.
I swear when I first heard the name, I thought that's what it was.
Yeah, so it was like back in like clown dancing days, that's what I thought when I heard the name. So I was like,
because you think of clown, you think of colorful, tie-dye.
And that's the type of shirts we was wearing and stuff like that. So that's what I thought. And then I saw his name on there, and I was like, tie-dye. I was like, oh, that's the guy that it was talking about. I was like, let me see this video. I want to see what they're talking about. And I watched it, and I was like, oh, these people are dope. Yeah. Like super dope. And everybody on that video was dope. Like everybody usually has their personal favorites, but like a lot of them were tight.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like people always like shine tie-dyes, but like Hurricane was super dope.
Gizmo was tight.
Lil Miho was actually my favorite.
Insane.
Yeah, he was my favorite.
Bro,
back then.
Barry was crazy.
Yeah, I freaking like honestly a lot of the inspiration before tie-dyes and all that came from him.
From Lil Miho.
To be honest, that's where the beads and stuff came from.
Yeah, because he had them.
Yeah, that's
and he had that. Rocking. He had a crazy bang.
Yeah,
like even back then, his bangs were insane.
Oh yeah.
So,
and the one thing that I loved about Krump though is even seeing it was there's something about it to where you can tell that this dance has like a lot of expression in it. And I think that's what like really attracted me to it, because I was like watching it and I was like, dang, it seems like you could just create and express and be
you,
whoever you want to be in this. You know, it's like you can literally do whatever.
I feel like Krump is a dance style that really, really like it caters to the unknown.
Yeah.
The fallen, or like the people that are just like overlooked. Because I feel like a lot of Krumpers were overlooked in their younger days. Like me, I was very overlooked. I wasn't popular in high school before I started dancing. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I was, like you said, you weren't really known before you started dancing.
Yeah.
And then dance gave you your identity. I feel like that's what Krump did a lot for a lot of us. And I feel like that's what the style, like just like hip hop, just like popping, breaking, it was just early 2000s instead of the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it really gave us that escape.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's facts.
Now you're obviously Krump dancer. You ain't Krump. You don't Krump no more.
Yeah.
But in the past like 5-6 years, you've obviously gotten really into photography and videography. Like what made you want to get into that stuff?
The same thing. I think Krump helped me find my niche, which was like what I feel like was in me, which is like creativity and expression.
Yeah.
That's pretty much like my identity. And it was like finding out what outlets I wanted to use that. To be
what canvas you wanted to use.
Yeah.
I get you.
So it was like, I think photography was like another place where I found that and was like, oh dang, you know, like this is something I can use that creativity and expression in. And the thing about it is, and this is something I want a lot of people to realize, is like sometimes some things can just be a hobby and that's it. You know what I mean?
You don't have to make it a business.
Yeah, some people want to take everything so professionally, and it's like some things are like stepping stones to get you to that next spot. You know, it's not like supposed to be like, oh, I need to be professional at this. We get into
everything
so many
you do,
things.
you don't need to be a professional.
Yeah, and it's like sometimes you do it because you just really love it, and you can instill that love in there, and it can take you somewhere else. And I think that's what Krump was for me. Like, I really loved it, but I wasn't supposed to be like no professional Krumper or anything like that. Or I wasn't supposed to be like no big time in music videos.
It was something to lead you to something else.
Yeah. You know, it was like something to help build myself and find myself in, so I can like find other outlets. Yeah. And that's what a lot of these things can be for people. Like, some people want to take gaming, like video games, and be like so serious with it and like just be like the professionals and all that. And it's like, no, sometimes you can just have fun with things. Like, have fun with dance, have fun with like gaming, have fun with certain things. Basketball. Yeah. You don't need to be like, take everything serious and then find those things that you really feel drawn towards, that you feel like I can make a professional career out of this. And I think that's what happened with like photography for me. Because it was like, I found that expression, and then I was like, oh, this is something I can do career-wise.
I'd say this, really, like, I've seen your creativity flourish tremendously since you held a camera. Yeah. Even behind the camera and in front of it. Yeah. Because I've noticed, like, pictures that you and Diamond be taking sometimes. I'm like, what? I'm like, yo, this is insane. Like, you guys find the dopest spots. You guys literally will sit in front of a camera, and y'all are so natural that you could just literally stand there and y'all have made a great picture. Right. And like the cosplay that y'all do, the themes, everything, bro. And that's what I'm so grateful for, because I remember us sitting down and like planning out the Young Rounds videos. Yeah. Planning out the photo shoots for one round, planning out different things, where we're going to go, what we're going to do, and seeing you now where it's at. I'm like, dang, like that's crazy, because me and you talk about it one round. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, look, I loved our one round days. I know it was for a reason. Oh yeah. I know we're not there anymore for a reason. Yeah. Because we all went on our separate ways and got our own journeys. Yeah. But if all of us didn't have that section of our lives, I don't believe we would still be where we're at, but we wouldn't have had the experiences and the great times that we did. And that's what I'm grateful for.
That's facts. And one thing about the one round is, I feel like, and that's something else I want to say, is like, people have to know the importance of like being a team player. And that was the thing that made like our dynamic in one round really work, is like we had people that had specific roles. Like, not everybody needs to be the face of something. Yeah. Like, sometimes you need to just let somebody else be the face. With one round, I feel like you were the face, but you're supposed to be the face. You know what I mean? Like, so many people, when I feel like the downfall of one round happened because so many people wanted that
spot. Yeah.
They want to be the face. So they start, and it's like, you don't need to
play your role. I watched the reel the other day, and I feel like I tell people that are part of Swarm Brand now, like, look, I know this is mine. I know I own the LLC. I know all of this, but I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. I said it in previous episodes, like the guy sitting back there, the executive producer of the damn podcast, CEO. I wouldn't be where I'm at if I didn't have a team. Yeah. Teams are needed to succeed at anything. Yeah. As he goes like this.
That's true.
It's the truth. Like, you and Diamond. Yeah. Y'all are a team for a reason.
And that's where she helped me build. That's why I look so natural in front of the cameras due to Diamond, but even that, like going back to the one round thing, like what we were able to do, like I enjoyed the teaching aspect of Krump. That's where I like that. I like the helping the community aspect. So it's like I was really in that lane, but just helping you with the group, the group in general. And you had the business aspect, Snoop had passion. We had Droid, who was like a team leader. Yep. So we had all these people who had components to make something great. Yeah. So we were able to like really focus in and hone in and build something that was like beautiful.
And it was great. I feel like one round's going to be remembered forever. Oh yeah. Like there was a post on the Krumpers page the other day, and it was like, what's your favorite event of all time? And there was like 4 comments that said the Ark.
I think the Ark is one of the best events though. And I think The thing that kind of irks me about like the arc, not the event, but like just the turmoil that people would put around it.
Yeah.
You know, because it was like, at the end of the day, it was a great event.
Yeah.
So it was like, you can't take anything away from it. Mm-hmm. The event was great. Anytime we would
every event, we had some crazy shit, though.
We would try to make the event great. Yeah, but so many people would try to like.
It's official now. The Hive Hustle Podcast about to sit you down. Go and fix your crown. This ain't a grain of salt. Pick your brain and thoughts, even through a major loss. Still remain a boss. Resonate with greatness. Celebrate creators. Ain't no blanket statements. Elevate and claim it. So amazed, I'm making the way for those in need. Mold the lane, showing change in the growing me.
Tear it down, and it's like, why are you guys trying to tear something down when we as a community should be building these things up?
Yep.
But it was like anything that happened in the States, I don't know why it is, but it seems like in the States especially, like
specifically with Krump too.
Yeah,
like if you have a great thing, it's more of a crab in a barrel mentality instead of like, hey, let me add to the pot.
Yeah.
And that's what I literally had a conversation last night. I was like, look, I'm a great web developer. I'm a great graphic designer. I'm a great digital marketing person. Those are my breadwinners. I make money off of that. But I didn't get this space just because of that.
Yeah.
I got this space because I want to invest back into the culture. This podcast, investing back into the culture.
Yeah.
My creative space, investing back into the culture. Like, I have plans just like we had plans back then for Krump. Because I don't see I'm not done. Like, just to be honest with you, I told myself I got a couple more years competitively.
Yeah.
But even after competitive is done, I still want to invest. I still want to see the Krump movement grow, even if I stop throwing an arm swing all the time.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't care if anybody else wants to do it. That's just my passion and my love.
Yeah.
So if I can get 7, 8, 10 people to be on the same wave again, maybe not in a crew aspect, but just on a business tip, we could do the same thing again.
Yeah.
The reason it was successful is because we had the factory. We had a hub.
Right.
Well, now Vegas got a hub again.
Right.
So it's like, there's no stopping us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just about people being able to set aside their egos and really be like team players. Like I said, not everybody needs to be the face. Sometimes you can just be a player on the team.
Yeah.
You know,
not everybody's LeBron.
Yeah. And it's good because you can still, in order for it to function,
we need a team.
We need you. So it's like, it's not like you're useless.
Yeah.
You're just not the face. And
you're not a starting five.
Yeah. So it's like, it's fine.
It's
you still
okay.
put into the team.
And I feel like that comes with everybody wants to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be a business person. Everybody wants to be a social media influencer.
Yeah.
Like, there's a reason that a corporation is the corporation.
Exactly.
Not everybody can be the CFO.
Exactly.
Not everybody can be the CEO. There's got to be a director of operations. There's got to be a creative associate director. There's got to be different roles.
Yeah.
And I feel like if people think like that, they'll understand that regardless if you're at the top, you're not at the bottom.
Yeah.
Because in this day and age, everybody plays a part and everybody's needed in a real company that has real morals and real values. And that's what I'm trying to build.
Yeah.
So
that was some of the problems that I would hear, like some people like Tight Eyes or some other Krumpers say when they would like be like, well, you haven't danced enough, or you need to battle more, or you need to do this. And it's like, not everybody's a battler though. Not everybody needs to do that. I feel like
Krump is finally there.
Yeah.
Krump is finally in this aspect where, okay, we got Concrete on the Beyonce tour. We got Beast over here teaching in LA and building the Mecca. We got Solo over there with Lowstown and building Krump Championship Series. Like, we have different parts of the movement and people playing different parts. Like, we have people doing Krumpography. We have people doing this. We have people doing that. And that's where it's at now. I feel like me and you and a lot of what we were doing was just ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Because everybody got a kids crew now. Everybody got a weekly class.
Right.
Everybody got a weekly lab. But if you remember, in 2014, we were doing that.
Oh yeah, and I feel like some people, like Droid, for example, he was starting that as well at that time.
Dead End, Droid, Herb on the Midwest.
Yeah.
Al was doing it on the South.
Yeah.
Truck and Wonder Bread on the East Coast. There was a lot of people doing different things.
Yeah.
And those different things bring more people.
Right. And that was the whole thing. That's why I remember one time when I think it was LeVar when he asked me like, how long have you danced? And I told him how long I danced. He'd be like, how long have you really danced? That just took me back. Like, what do you mean? And then he was like, well, I mean, like, how long have you danced? Like, been in the scene, like, been known? I'm like, why does that even matter? Yeah. Like, why does it matter? Like, how long you've been seen compared to how long long you've been dancing. How long I've been dancing is how long I've been dancing. Yeah. Regardless, there's people who've been dancing since they've been like 5. Are you going to take that away from them just because they haven't been seen?
And that's I was talking to somebody about that last night. The day I become active is no different than the day I throw an arm swing.
Yeah, because it's all part of your journey.
Yeah, and I didn't start Krump in 2012.
Yeah,
I started Krump in 2006.
Exactly.
It just took me 6 years for you to get to know who I am.
I don't need to go search for you so you can see me so you know how long I've been dancing. Yeah. Like, no, like I've been dancing this long.
That's why I built the shirt. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but the homie Bullet from DCX, he said a statement at my garage. He was like, "You're not everyone's vet."
Yeah.
So
that's a good one, actually.
You could be in Cali. You're not everybody in Vegas' vet.
Yeah.
If you're on the East Coast and I'm a vet out in Vegas, if I go to the East Coast, I'm not the East Coast vet.
Facts.
And that's a Buddhist stretch from he's a hip hop OG. He said it. He was like, everybody's a guest of the culture. Because you know how they have that whole, like, if you're not black, you're a guest of the culture, which I believe that. Yeah. But he was saying that everybody's a guest. Because if I grew up in hip hop in New York and I go to the West Coast, I'm a guest of their hip hop culture because I didn't grow up on the West Coast. And I think that mindset is what every person has to have. Because if I go to Arizona, I'm a guest in their Krump city.
Yes,
I'm a guest in their Krump culture. I am not a resident of Arizona. I should not walk in there and act as if I'm somebody.
Yeah.
I should walk in there humbly and be like, you know what? What can I do to help?
Exactly.
And I feel like if we change that mindset,
I love that. And to be honest, I agree with that wholeheartedly because I feel like some people don't want to be worldwide people. Yeah. Sometimes you just want to be a hometown
hero or a hood legend.
And that's perfectly fine. Mm-hmm. You do not have to be this great world class.
You don't have to.
It's crazy.
I tell people that with roller skating all the time because people are like, why don't you like Usher's doing auditions? I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, well, what do you mean? You don't want to skate for Usher? I'm like, dude, first and foremost, he goes to the skating rink all the time. I've met the man. Like, I built Mayweather's website for his rink, and he's introduced me to Usher. Yeah. That's all I need.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to be behind this man roller skating. First and foremost, who wants to roller skate for 8 hours a day at 38 years old? Don't nobody want to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not physically there.
Right.
And I understand that. But I think that comes with people understanding their boundaries and understanding how far they can go.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know the 25-year-old that's skating that just started 6-7 years ago, he's more limber. He's more in shape. I just know. Like, I'm not going to go audition when I know that I can't skate for 2 hours straight.
Yeah. That's good, though. Knowing where you go and knowing yourself. You know, sometimes it's like good to know, like, this is not the direction I want to go.
Yep.
I might want to go this way. I don't need to do this. I'm more comfortable building the community here. Yeah. Like this.
Yeah.
You know,
and I feel like when you realize that, I remember when I got divorced in 2016, you told me something when I moved in with you. And it stuck with me till then.
Oh, really?
You said you have to find your tribe.
Yeah.
And you have to find your group of friends.
Yeah.
And I was like really tripping about that back then because I was under the impression that Krumpers were my group of friends because that was my family when I first came into it.
Yeah.
I didn't have blood family. I didn't have no friends really. When I met everybody, I was like, oh, cool. Like, these are people I can hang out with.
Yeah.
But then when I got older, I realized you have your acquaintances through Krump, which is probably high school, if we really equate it.
Yeah.
There's a high school, a group of people that are 300-400 people that go to the high school.
Right.
But then you have your clique that you hang out with at lunch.
Yep.
And that's what I had to find.
Yeah.
And when I found that, I was able to be confident and find myself through finding that.
Oh, yeah.
And now I understand people's place in my life.
Yeah.
And I don't have to have high expectations for this person or have overly wanting expectations when they ain't going to fulfill that because they're not my tribe.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
that's a good. I'm actually glad I said that.
Bro, when you said that back then, that stuck with me. I'm telling you, Suave.
Yeah, because it's so true though. Because I had to realize that. I think I realized that earlier on because when me and Snoop got injected into the Krump community or whatever, and we started meeting all these Krumpers, like at first there's some people who loved us, there's some people who hated it.
Yeah.
But a lot of people would like try to like tear me and Snoop down because we were more on the like rugged side of Krump. We weren't the tricky people.
Y'all weren't flashy at all.
Yeah, so they freaking hated us at first, and they would hate on us. They would try to tear us down at every turn they took. But we had to stick together, and that's where I realized, like, okay, Snoop, no matter what, he's gonna help me through this. He's gonna give me advice. He's gonna do that, and then we found our
couple
group.
people,
our little group of people that we could.
Man,
like,
y'all had the east side
in.
on lock.
Yeah, and
I was
then once
mad
we found
I was growing up on the east side and I couldn't get with y'all.
Yeah,
I took the bus for 6 hours to see y'all. I'm gonna always hold that again. We gonna be 60 years old, and I'm gonna mention that, bro.
I know, right?
I'm just letting you know. Just so y'all know, if you don't know yet, I tried to be under Suave back 13 years ago.
Yeah, back in the day. That was like
I took
early
the bus
on.
for 4 hours to lab with them, and they were done. And I had to take the bus 4 hours home back.
But imagine though, I think if you'd have made it like 2 hours earlier,
it would have been different.
It'd have been different.
There was a reason for it. Because
Yeah,
ultimately, that led me to end up being under Lamont.
Yeah.
And I'll never regret that.
Yeah.
And me and you ended up crossing paths in the future anyway. So it was bound to happen.
Right.
So ultimately, I was grateful for it.
Yeah.
Now, shifting. Obviously, you said you're a creative being.
Mm-hmm.
How do you handle creative blocks?
I feel like experience is one of the best things to fuel creativity, to be honest. Because like just getting out there in the world, seeing different things, watching different things, trying different things can help you think of ways to apply that to whatever it is you're doing. Okay. And I think that kind of what helps me like get out of blocks is like getting out of there and learning something new, or getting out there and experiencing something different. Yeah. Because it'll be like, oh, dang, like I can apply this type of mindset to this and then elevate this even more. You know, like a lot of people have told me how Krump has helped inspire their creativity in other outlets. Yeah. And that's what it did for me, to be honest. Like it helped me inspire creativity in other outlets. How I envision Krump, I can put that into other things like photography or whatever I'm doing, you know? Yeah. So
I feel like when it comes to like creative blocks, like I have specific things I do. Like yesterday I was like having a rough day, and instead of like sitting here, because sometimes being in an enclosed room, it like keeps you enclosed. Oh yeah. So I'll go take a walk. Oh, walks. I'll walk to 7-Eleven. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And like go get a water and just walk back. Yeah. And the sun, the vitamin D, oh man, me listening to music, whether it be in my AirPods or whatever, it really gets me to like get the juices flowing. Yeah. And last night, people don't understand what cardio does for your mind. Oh. So man. Last night I was stretching, and I'm older now, bro. Like I can't immediately get into Krump mode. Mm. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's because I have 2 kids now. Like I don't know. But I can't just immediately hear tracks and be like, yeah, let's get off. Like I have to gain momentum. Yeah. I'm a little older now, man. Yeah. Like it's not going to happen right away. Yeah. So I'm like stretching, and I start doing jumping jacks and high knees. And everybody's looking at me like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm getting my blood flowing. Like, what do you expect? Right. Oh, okay. You old. I'm like, yeah, I'm old, but I'm going to still get off. Yeah. But I'm going to just get these blood flowing real quick. Like cardio, bro. The first person I really watched do cardio was you.
That's what I was about to say. I'm a really...
That damn treadmill that barely worked in the garage.
I'm really heavy on cardio, to be honest. Every time I go to the gym, I'm doing like an hour of cardio before I even start my workout. Mm-hmm. But it's just because I like things that help me escape sometimes. You know, and cardio is one of those things. Krump was one of those things. Even when you said going for a walk was one of the things too. It's like, just help me like get out my head sometimes, and then like really like feel the vibes, or just like escape everything that's going on around me. And I feel like finding a positive escape opposed to a negative escape is good. So like when you're doing like cardio or walking or even having a talk,
movement in general. Yeah.
So like a lot of those things, being outside is a good one. Like meditating is a good one. Like a lot of these things are good escapes to have to really I guess you can say refresh yourself so you can start again and be like, all right, let me start this differently.
We have 7 days in the week and one is like supposed to be a rest day.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason for it. You know what I'm
You
saying?
need your rest. It's
like,
important.
I feel like rest, recoup, all of that, it's needed.
Yeah.
So, but now we talked about your photography and videography and we talked about, your creative side. What is the iVisuals and like, what's the plans for it? Like, do you guys have any plans to expand it? Or are you just doing photography and videography?
Yeah, we have a good amount of plans that we want to do. We're getting our business set up and off the ground first. We know that's going to take time. Mm-hmm. My biggest vision for it is to have like a creative space. Okay. Like that's what I want to do, like a work and wellness thing. Okay. To where people can come and they can like work on their creative endeavors, and also be able to escape, like I was saying earlier, like meditate or have talks or, go get a massage or something like that.
Do
like
yoga
you can,
or something
so
like
you
that.
have your work areas, you have your wellness areas, and you can do both. That's like a big really vision. Yeah, I wanted to call it like work and wellness or something like that. Really but I think it would be dope where somebody can actually escape or work. You have the choice, Or if you're working, you can step out
and go escape.
Exactly, and I feel like that would be good for people, because so many people like workaholics and they don't have time to just.
I'm one of them.
Yeah, you don't have time
That's
to just.
That's why I roller skate every Sunday.
Yeah, but if you have that time to just be like, I can just leave here and go right down here to this little thing, have like a little sound bath over here, do this, meditate over here, and all this stuff. I feel like that would be like a good thing. But
that would definitely help the community for sure. Like any community, whether it be street culture, whether it be dance, whether it be creative, like that's a good thing that's definitely needed. I'll say that. Yeah. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. Excuse me. They don't understand that business, you have to fulfill a need. Mm-hmm. Like people need photo shoots. Yeah. So you're fulfilling that need. Yeah. And that's what I've learned in business is like, if somebody needs it, you can sell it to them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you can make profit off of it and things of that sort. That's where it's at. That's where the whole bartering, the trade comes from and everything like that. Yeah. So that's cool, man. I'm glad you actually have like a mission and like a goal. Yeah. Because so many people go into business and they're just grinding and they have no like plan of action.
No set mindset on what they want to do with it.
They have no why. They have no what. They have no how. They have no when. And I feel like those are the what, why, how, when, and like those four, like you need to have those in business. Oh, yeah. So that's cool, man. You don't just do photography. You don't just do videography. You got your own podcast too. Yeah. So the Unbiased Opinions, I've been a guest. You guys do a lot of different things. What is the mission for it now? Because obviously it's shifted throughout the time. Yeah. So you guys do like hot takes. You guys do different things. Yeah. Tell us about it.
Well, on that, one of my main goals for the Unbiased Opinions is transparency. Like that's what we try to hammer home with everything. Like we want to have open conversations and we want to be transparent because there's so much stuff that people are afraid to talk about or don't talk about or shy away from or might not want to be upset at the difference of opinions of it, but it's good to have this type of dialogue to know that people think like this or people have these types of opinions or people don't share these same ideologies as you and you need to hear these different opinions to get a better understanding, and that's what I try to hammer home too is understanding. Like you need to be able to understand different perspectives, so these are the important components of Unbiased Opinions. But on there we have like hot takes, and hot takes is pretty much
comments, right?
Yeah, they're comments
like my
that
favorite
we get.
section. People be writing comments to y'all, and y'all just be talking about them. I'll be laughing my ass off.
Yeah, because they're crazy. Because you see like how closed-minded and closed-off people can be, and one of the things is I love conversation. So I love to talk to people. Yeah. So when people comment, I respond, and then usually like Trey or somebody's like, "You don't need to respond to the comments. They're just trolls and all this," but it's like. But I want to start that conversation.
It's official now. The Hive Hustle Podcast about to sit you down. Go and fix your crown. This ain't a grain of salt. Pick your brain and thoughts, even through a major loss. Still remain a boss. Resonate with greatness. Celebrate creators. Ain't no blanket statements. Elevate and claim it. So amazed, I'm making the way for those in need. Mold the lane, showing change in a growing me.
Because I want to see at
enlighten
least,
people.
Yeah. Do you have the conversation skills to be able to relay what it is you're saying and give me an understanding?
Do you have the emotional intelligence to understand and have a conversation without getting mad?
Exactly.
Yeah. Or did you just write this comment because you had a thought and you immediately wrote it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I get to that point and I'm like, okay, this person really doesn't know what they're talking about, or they just wanted to.
They just want to argue.
Yeah. So it's like I'm not gonna get into it with them, but it's. I still want to try to see if it's there. The
fact that you can try and see, not get offended, not take it personal, and understand that emotional intelligence, not a lot of people have.
Yeah, which sucks though, because you want to be able to have a dialogue with people that come to
it sucks though, because come on, man, we want to have conversations.
Yeah, it's like I want to actually understand your point of view, because sometimes I'll see people who have a difference of opinion, and I'll be like, oh, okay.
And it'll sway yours.
Yeah, I'll be like,
because you'll see something differently. Like the episode I was watching that one time where me and Trey got into a conversation about my awareness.
Yeah.
Me and him having that conversation, we ended up taking it to the inbox, and I got very enlightened through how I act to people. And that is the thing that people don't understand, is through conversation and through comprehension, we can learn.
Yeah.
And that's the whole reason we're here, is to learn, dude.
Exactly.
Like, think about it. We've been learning since we were born.
Right.
My son came out and he can't even lift his damn head. So he's got to learn how to lift his head. He's got to learn how to turn his head. He's got to learn how to breathe while his face being in the pillow. Like, people don't think about that. As humans, we've been learning since day one.
Yeah. Constantly. And that's the thing, even from the 1 round days, we were learning from each other.
Yeah.
I was able to learn from you.
Yeah.
I feel like
all of us.
Yeah. I was able to learn from a lot of people, even the students.
Yeah. Bro, I tell Chris, he's baby Mafioso now. And he just came last night and I saw him dance. I was like, bro, this week compared to last week, tremendous change. I'm like, did you lab? He's like, no. I'm like, well, how'd you learn all that? He's like, and I'm like, you know how you learned it? Because you came and watched Krump. And something stuck in here. And then it stuck in there so good to where the next time you came and danced, it was muscle memory.
Yeah.
Boom. Yeah. You learned. You don't even have to throw an arm swing to learn.
Yeah.
You could literally listen. That's why Todd Eyes and them had so many workshops where they would talk to us for 45 minutes, because you're learning. Because
there's so much stuff that goes, and that's why I appreciate podcasts, and that's why I do one myself, because there's so much that can be learned through the art of conversation. Just talking to somebody, like just talking about, like, and that was the thing I loved about Krump. Like, not saying just the talking aspect, was learning the history and everything and what's behind what and what is what. And that's what made me want to actually, like, teach it more. It's like, I want to teach people, like,
my philosophy on it.
Yeah, my methods and
how I attack the beat, how I do this. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, I feel like was somewhat of a, not a downfall, but like it was hard for us in that age, because it was, you have to teach it like this. Nowadays, it's, I'm teaching my perception of Krump. That's what everybody's doing. There's the basics, there's the skeleton and the foundation, and now everybody's teaching their way to get past that.
Yeah.
But when we were coming up and we were teaching it, it was, you had to teach the arm swings this way. You had to teach the chest pops this way. You had to teach the advanced techniques this way. And I'm so grateful that we went through that process, because I feel like we were a big part of how people teach nowadays.
Yeah.
Because we might not have been on the scale of Knucklehead, Concrete, and all them, but we had a lot to do with how Vegas Krump is the way it is right now. Because people like Chris, Baby Quenga, he was in our labs.
Right.
Rashad, he was in our labs. Twin Droid.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people in our labs when we would throw them on Saturdays at the factory.
Yeah.
That they took class from us, and how we taught gained them the knowledge to be able to dance the way they dance now.
Yeah.
So that's crazy, man. Okay. Well, I don't like to do 2-hour podcasts.
I know, right?
So
like us. I
got one more question for you, bro. And I just want to state this on wax. Thank you, because like there's certain people in my life, dog, that I know whether we talk every day or whether we talk every 6 years, the energy is going to be good. We're always going to have a great conversation.
Right.
And you're one of those people, man. Like, you know how you were telling me in 2017 to find my tribe?
Yeah.
You're a part of that tribe, bro.
Yeah.
Like, real talk. Like, we've grown so much. And that's why when I hit you up this week and asked you to be on the podcast, I was like, I got to have Suave. From talking to you about the name, from talking to you about how I can do it, what I can do, you helped me do this, bro. Like,
man,
you're a good listener. You're a great friend. You're a good mentor to a lot of people, and you give a lot. So I also use this podcast to gas people up. So that's what I'm doing right now. So take it and run with it.
No, I appreciate that.
Last question, man. What's next? Like, what creative adventures? Do you have any new ones that you're coming up with? Like, I know you're going to school, aren't you?
No, I actually finished school.
So are you a psychologist now?
Not yet. Not yet. I'm working on the process of it, but that's what's supposed to be going into.
So if y'all have a conversation with them, don't let them get in your head.
Yeah. But right now it's kind of evolving all the lanes that I'm in right now.
Okay.
You know, because I don't want to put on too many hats to where I can have like
I
burnout.
know how that feels.
Yeah. But like evolving the podcast, keep getting better from there.
Y'all got 10K followers now.
Yeah, we hit 10K, so it feels good that we're.
Dude, I knew it was going to grow sooner
better.
or later.
Yeah,
consistency is key.
Yeah, and that's one of the things is like staying consistent with the work. You know, even with the eye visuals. Right now, Diamond's like helping to fuel that thing. Shout out to her. You know, she's a queen in that junk. She's definitely wearing her crown and evolving the photography game for sure. But She's partnered with she has iVisuals partnered with Starbase, and they've been doing like fashion shows and
I know they did the couture one with Bite Size, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you remember, but Bite Size hit us up back in it like when Swarm Brand first started, and we were in one of their lookbooks.
Oh yeah,
your picture was in one of those too.
Oh yeah, see.
So like it's crazy how like it intertwines.
Yeah.
So
well, yeah, it's dope. So
y'all are partnered with Starbase. So are y'all like the photographers for?
Yeah, she does like all the events that happen with Starbase.
That's so dope. It's great the networking opportunities you can get.
Yeah, so it's pretty dope. She said she did like a Raiders one, because I haven't been able to do like the shoots because I work and stuff like that. But she's been doing those constantly. But she did one for like, I guess it was like a Raiders, and it was a whole bunch of like sports people there. A whole bunch of like the Raiders.
I'm telling you, getting them rooms.
Yeah, I was like, that's crazy.
Changes.
Yeah, I said.
That's how I ended up getting an interview with Raz B.
Right. Stuff like that.
You get into the rooms and you're genuine, it's natural, and it happens.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if you just really want to build a rapport with somebody and you just come in the room, you just want to learn and you show that you're like hungry, it's like where the opportunities open up. Because people's like, oh, dang, you're into this, you're focused, you seem like you're determined, you seem like you're a good person, you just want to have a conversation, you just want to build, so let me give you this opportunity. And it's like, dang, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It happens. I feel like when you're a good person, good things happen to you.
Yeah.
You know, my son told me the other day, he was like, and the fact that he had the emotional intelligence to even think about this at 8 years old was crazy. He comes up to me and he goes, hey, I have good thoughts at school, but then I have bad thoughts. So when I'm taking a test, I'll have a good thought like, just do your best at the answer. But then I'll have a bad thought that says, just skip it. I don't know what to do. The fact that he came to me with that by itself, I was like, oh, crap. And then I told him, I was like, son, you're always going to have good thoughts and bad thoughts.
Yeah.
No matter what. Your job, I said, my brand is called Swarm Brand, right? He goes, yeah. I was like, do you know what Swarm stands for? He goes, no. I said, soldier with a ready mind. I said, your thoughts start at your mind. Then they become words, and then they become actions. I said, so always grab the good thought because you want good words and good actions.
Yeah.
And he was like, ding. It clicked in his head. And I was like, good things happen to good people. Karma is a word for a reason.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You do bad things. I know that firsthand.
Right.
I didn't do anything purposely bad to people, but I was unaware of what I was doing.
Yeah.
And that made me have bad relationships in a long way.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I shifted that and I started thinking differently and perceiving life differently, things started shifting for me. So yeah,
right.
man, like when you do good things happen.
Yeah.
You
There's
know?
that wolf metaphor.
Literally.
Yeah, which is feed the one that you want to feed, pretty much. But yeah, I agree, and I just gotta give you a shout out as well, because I'm even going back to what you were saying about like the bad thing and all that nature. Like, people got to realize that people change and people grow, you know, and you can't keep holding somebody as something years down the line.
You
know,
guys
like
talked about that on your podcast too,
about labels.
And I felt
right?
like when I was watching that, I was like, damn, Suave's talking about me right now. I didn't know if it was, but I felt like, I was like, that fucking fits, because so many people, whatever was said, whatever was done, it doesn't even matter now, but that's what they view me as.
Yeah.
And they don't understand that was 7 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And then the way I
it's
see
like
it is
considering a felon for the rest of his life.
exactly. You're gonna be the villain in somebody's story no matter what.
No matter what.
And that's the thing. That's why you gotta be able to have an experience with somebody without taking somebody else's experience and automatically defining that person by that. You know?
I say it like this: reviews, when it comes to business, are good. But if you can't experience that business for yourself at least before looking at a review, then all you're doing is taking everybody else's word for it. You're never experiencing anything yourself.
Exactly.
Like, if I walk around and I say, hey, that consulting agency, how are they? And the people I talk to, and I never go actually take my time out and learn it myself, then that, like, you're missing out.
Yep.
I personally feel, because somebody could have a bad experience, but that doesn't mean that's a bad person.
Yeah. That person could just have a bad day.
Dude.
They could have been going through something. They could be going through a rough time in their business at that point in time.
It doesn't mean that they're bad.
Doesn't mean that they're bad.
Like, or, like you said, a section, because our life is not going to be peaches and cream all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's seasons for a reason. Yeah. Like fall, winter, spring, summer. Winter and fall are sometimes horrible. In some states, summer and spring are horrible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some states like Washington that you ain't never getting daylight.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Like,
you're going to be in fog.
There's different, life is such a gray area. And when I learned that not everything's black and white, it changed everything.
Everything, man. But yeah, that's why I just got to shout you out, because in general, like, even from back in the one round days when I first saw it and I thought, like, this could be something great.
Yeah.
But it all came from, like, your vision. Like, I can see what you were putting into it, what you wanted to do with it. Yeah. You always had a plan, and you can see that it was in here. That's one thing I noticed. I was like, dang, like, he really wants to create this into something. So if I can come in and help him, you know, and put in my whatever I can put in, it'll maybe we can build something, you know, like,
and we
with
did.
Everybody. Yeah.
Bro, think about it. We both went overseas on our own merit.
I know, right?
Like, I never stepped overseas in my life.
Yeah.
And we didn't get a cosign. We did that on our own.
Yeah.
You built the relationship with One Round Japan.
Right.
You did. And you got us to have a one round event in Japan.
Yeah. It's just crazy to think that we were able to come so far, but it all, like I said, it all was birthed from your mind. And that's what I'm grateful for that, because no matter what anyone says at the end of the day, nobody can say that you did not put in so much into the city.
Yeah.
You know, because you have the group, you have the events that, like, I think literally the Arc has to be the best event in Vegas. It has to be. Yeah. It has to be the best event that ever happened in Vegas.
I think it's the only thing Vegas had.
Yeah, I don't think
because the Mad Rocka, I love crushed to death, but he took that to Cali, he took that different places.
Yeah.
It wasn't built for Vegas.
Yeah.
Like, I love crushed to death, but he don't even consider Vegas his home. He considers South Central his home.
And I mean, the Mad Rock at the same time, like, it was good. It was a great event, you know, but I seen it at more like how I see, like,
Realm.
No, what's the corner session?
The corner session, yes.
Which is super dope.
It's a great, it's
super
needed.
dope. Yeah.
But it wasn't a event on the crazy ass caliber to where it was bringing like different countries and shit like that.
I mean, it was in the garage, you know.
Literally. It started off in the garage, you know what I'm saying? So I get you. But thank you, man. Like I'm grateful because if I didn't go through the processes I went through living with you, going through all those dramas that I went through, I wouldn't have the mindset, the emotional intelligence, and everything I have now. I had to go through that.
Yeah.
Because I was a very, very skewed person. I was a very, very emotional person. I let my emotions drive me. Mm-hmm. And I was even telling Chris last night, Cage, he was here, and I was telling him, I was like, bro, like, there's one thing about me that no one can take away from me is I will always hold myself accountable. If I make a mistake, I'll admit to it. Yeah. If I do something wrong, or if I say something wrong, I'll admit to it. Yeah. And no one can take that away from me. Yeah. And that's why I won't let people do this. Yeah. Like from back then. If I make a mistake now, do that all day. Yeah. But from back then, you're not going to hold that against me.
But one thing that you've done, and I like that you've gotten better at this too, is people will do this, but if you didn't do anything wrong, you stand your ground. Yeah. You know, because back then they would do that, and I would fold. I would fold, yeah. And now I don't do that because, like, after you've gotten pointed at so much, it kind of just becomes like it bounces off type of feel. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that old statement of like, what you say to me bounces off of me and goes back to you. Yeah. I feel like that's what's happening because I'm like, bruh, like you think that's going to affect me? It's kind of like when Papa Doc tried to get on Eminem and Eminem hit him with everything first. I'm going to let you know everything I did wrong because that's going to not give you any ammo. Yeah. Like when I became transparent about my life and I let all the skeletons out, everybody was like, oh my God, Jack's human? Yes, bro, I'm human. I make mistakes. And when I realized that, I had to dumb it down a little bit because I was a lot transparent. Mm-hmm. I was like, yeah, everything out there. And then I was like, no, let me balance it out a little bit. Yeah. But now I've gotten there, man, and I'm grateful. Yeah. And I'm glad because people need to know at the end of the day, they can't keep doing this to you all the time because I think a lot of people's doing it because everybody else does it. Yeah. And it's like
Garrett tells me that all the time.
Yeah, you don't need to do it because everybody else is doing it. Stop. Like for example, Dread. As much as I would hate to say it, but people pick on Dread because everybody does it.
And that's, so it's like, bro, I just had a conversation with him the other day. Yeah, I was like, Dread. I was like, stop trying to get approval from people. He was like, what do you mean? I'm like, bro, like you are who you are, and when you realize who you are, you're gonna shake the country. You're gonna shake the world. And I'm like, you know it, but you still allow people to affect you emotionally. And when you let that go, you're going to become a fucking force. And people ain't going to be able to touch you. Because people try to keep people down here. That's what they do. And that's what they're doing to Dredd. And it's like, if Dredd just realized how much power he has, it's like, dude these people are scared of you, he let low key. He let around last night. I literally looked at him. I said, bro, I'm never battling you. Yeah. Like, because he already one-rounded me before. And I'll tell him all day, I'm like, bro, you that dude. I'll never battle you, Dredd, just letting you know. Yeah, I'll literally. Try to battle me. Like, so, but hey, man, I appreciate you. This has been a great conversation. I'm glad I got to know you a little more because I learned about you. Yeah. And that's what this is about. So do me a favor, y'all. Like, subscribe, follow him, Suave the Spaz on Instagram, the eye visuals, the unbiased opinions. I'm going to put all of it in the description. This has been episode 14 of the Hive Hustle Podcast. I'm almost there, y'all. I'm almost done with season 1. But y'all tune in. Appreciate y'all. Have a good one. We out. Peace.
It's official now. The Hive Hustle Podcast about to sit you down. Go and fix your crown. This ain't a grain of salt. Pick your brain and thoughts even through